Vinyl community, what is going on? I have power. It's a plus, right? Um, Crazy week. Rolling power outages, heat plummeting in our house, frozen everything. I mean, neighbors frozen pipes. What a freaking week, man. Texas really dropped the ball on this one. But anyways, started thinking of some videos that I really wanted to make while I was sitting here in darkness, and this was one I've been wanting to make for probably a long time, and it's probably a list that's going to change quite a bit, you know, from year to year, month to month even, but as of right now, this is what came to mind as I was reorganizing my jazz collection. I started thinking, you know, what are my 25 favorite jazz records that I own right now. Not best 25 jazz records of all time, just my favorite jazz records that I own right at this very moment. With a kicker, no Miles, no Coltrane, and I didn't do any Art Blakey either because he's got so many that are good. But so minus those three, these are my 25 favorite jazz records that I own at this time. So let's just get into the list because I think this is probably going to maybe take a while. I'm going to try to not make it take a long time. But coming in at number 25, the Horace Tapscott Quintet. Now this has nothing to do with pressing. I mean, this is a new pressing. I mean, I could have a first pressing, I could have a new reissue. This is just the music. My, whatever. So this is actually a digital copy. This isn't even an analog release, but this is like the only reissue since the 70s. So yeah, Horace Tapscott Quintet, The Giant is Awakened. This is from Real Gone Music. They did a reissue here. This is, I think, green vinyl or something like that. But yeah, Horace Tapscott out of the LA area. Just a tremendous album. If you guys haven't heard this yet, definitely give it a listen. It took me a while to get it. I didn't have it for a long time, and I was happy they did this reissue. So coming in at number 25, Horace Tapscott. Number 24, an artist you see me mention on here a lot. One of my favorite current jazz musicians. This is Muriel Grossman, Reverence. I have all of her records, but this is probably the one that I listen to the most. Man, she's just a tremendous saxophonist out of Spain. The label's out of Estonia, but just a terrific album. Nice contemporary jazz. Well, the music isn't contemporary jazz, but she's contemporary, being of this time period. So number 23, they did this reissue series from Jazzman. I missed out on the original box set, but I was happy they did the reissues in single form. This is Don Rendell Ian Carr Quintet. This is my favorite of the bunch, Shades of Blue. Just some great 60s British jazz scene. Just a great, kind of nighttime record, I actually listened to this quite a bit. This one and, Dusk of Fire or something like that. Both of them are really good, but I gave this one the nod. So Don Rendell, Ian Carr, Shades of Blue. All right. Number 22, an album that really doesn't need a lot of introduction, and is probably my favorite from him. Really could have been higher on the list, I guess you could say. But this is Wayne Shorter, Juju. Originals of this go for a lot of money. This is the Black Bee. Obviously early 70s, like 73 usually is when those came out. So Wayne Shorter, McCoy Tyner, Reginald Workman, Elvin Jones. Just a tremendous album by him, and yeah, was lucky to get this pressing. They all sound really good, although Blue Note was owned by obviously different companies through the years, but for the most part, until you get Even the DMM pressings sound pretty decent, but alright, so that was what, 22, so coming in at number 21, the Pharoah Sanders Karma. Some nice free jazz Impulse. I believe that's the first pressing. The boxes are together and everything like that. But yeah, just a great album from him. Nice gatefold. Love the Impulse gatefolds. Who's on here with them? Leon Thomas, Lonnie Smith, Frederick Waits, Reggie Workman, Ron Carter, Julius Watkins. One of his best albums, I think. Good stuff. Number 20, Dexter Gordon, Go. My favorite Dexter Gordon album. This is one of those DMM pressings. This one sounds pretty good, actually. You know, I think this album is just, the whole time is just right, you know, just, you know, moving. Dexter is just in rare form on this album. Sonny Clark on piano, Butch Warren, Billy Higgins. I mean, just a great lineup. So, I'd love to find a better pressing of this, but, you know, if it comes my way, it comes my way. I got the music, so I'm happy. So, number 19, one I just recently got, actually, and, you know, I listened to it digitally, and, you know, I've been real happy. I've been listening to this quite a bit since I got it. Ahmad Jamal Trio, The Awakening. Impulse. Just a great album from him. My favorite Ahmad Jamal album by far. Some of his other ones can, you know, I don't know, on the Argo label, they're okay for me, but this is where it's at for Ahmad Jamal. So, yeah, coming in at number 19, Ahmad Jamal. Number 18, one that I had a chance to buy an original of this, and it was just a lot of money, and it was a really nice copy, and it was actually still probably half of what it goes for. I just, at the time, I couldn't do it. So this is an OJ, or not OJC, but this is an early 70s pressing. Art Pepper Meets the Rhythm Section. Just a monster of an album. I might actually throw this on next, because this album always is just incredible. Art Pepper in rare form. Red Garland, Paul Chambers, Philly Joe Jones. Come on. This is, like, you know, in perfect shape too, and it sounds great. So I was real happy with this. So yeah, there we go. Art Pepper Rhythm Section. All right, coming in at number 17, one I picked up last year at an antique mall. Actually, one of the dealers out here had it, and I was pretty shocked, actually. This might be the only artist twice on the list. Joe Henderson with Alice Coltrane. The Elements, nice promo copy. Man, both of them together on this is just incredible. Who else is on here? Yeah, you got Michael White, the great Charlie Hayden, Kenny Nash. What a session. All I gotta say about that. All right, coming in at number 16, Jackie McLean, Destination Out. This is an original mono pressing here. My favorite Jackie McLean record. Just this whole record just is great. Grosjean Moncur III, who I never have enough of his stuff. It's really hard to find. Bobby Hutcherson, Larry Ridley, and the great Roy Haynes on drums. So very, very nice. Blue Note. All right, coming in at number 15. This was a recent reissue. It's the Vinyl Me Please of Blossom Dearie, her first album, self-titled. They replicated the Verve label there. Just some great vocal jazz. She's playing the piano as well, I believe. And man, just a great female vocal jazz album that I think everyone should have this. Really, it's just awesome. So Blossom Dearie. Number 14, a recent tone poet. Money Jungle, Duke Ellington, Charlie Mingus, Max Roach. The three of them together on this. Wow. I mean, seriously, wow. I mean, it's, you know, I'd never really heard this record before I bought this tone poet. And just incredible. The three of them, I mean, you can just hear them, you know, they weren't happy with each other, despite some of the pictures of him laughing. Everything I read is they were pretty irritated with one another, and you can kind of hear it, you know, they just go back and forth, and I just really think it's a tremendous record. One of the best tone poets, I think. The sound is incredible on this, probably up there with the original, but yeah, these tone poets, can't beat them. Coming in at number 13, Louis Gaska. I believe this is just a self-titled on Blue Thumb. Tremendous, you know, got a little bit of Latin flair to it. You know, Louis Gaska's on here, obviously, his record, obviously. But Carlos Santana plays on this. Who are some of the other players on this? Carlos Santana, Neil Schon on guitar as well. George Gables, Lenny White, Stanley Clarke, just to name a few here. I mean, this is actually considered cheap heat, I guess you could say, because you should be able to get this for 20 bucks or less. I mean, what a record, man. I mean, really, I picked this up because, you know, a lot of people in the VC have shown this, and their recommendations are right on. I mean, just a really great record. Check it out. And at number 12, Eric Dolphy, Out to Lunch. Probably my favorite Eric Dolphy record. It's the White Bee, you know, the 75 to 77. Freddie Hubbard, Eric Dolphy, Bobby Hutcherson, Richard Davis, and the great Tony Williams. Eric Dolphy's just in rare form on this, as is, you know, everybody playing on here. But you know, just his tone. I mean, Dolphy was just, you know, a great musician, and I wish he would have been around to make, you know, music a little bit longer. But yeah, Eric Dolphy, Out to Lunch at number 12. Coming in at number 11, Charlie Mingus, The Black Saint and the Sinner Lady. It's like an early 70s impulse, or yeah, something like that. My favorite Charlie Mingus record. Just it's like kind of spiritual in a way, you know. But you know, just him smoking right there, just cool as a cucumber. Mingus is just, you know, playing his ass off on this, and yeah, made enough to, you know, make it to number 11 easily. The most played Mingus album that I have in my collection. I have quite a few, so. All right, so we've reached the top 10 here. One that I've been trying to track down for quite a long time, and you know, originals just go for a lot. It's one of my favorite Blue Note covers, but Hank Mobley, No Room for Squares. This is on the White Bee. Lee Morgan, Donald Byrd, Andrew Hill, Herbie Hancock, John Orr, Butch Warren, and Philly Joe Jones. I mean, come on. That shouldn't even be allowed. Just a great album. Hank Mobley, if it wasn't for Coltrane, he'd probably be one of my, you know, probably my favorite saxophonists. Just, you know, the way he plays, you know, the sound, just freaking awesome. Herbie Hancock on the B-side, you know, on the piano is just awesome. So, like I said, one of my favorite covers. Hank Mobley coming in number 10. Number 9, my favorite jazz guitar album, I guess you could say, maybe. This is Midnight Blue from Kenny Burrell. Actually own a couple copies of this. This is my original mono press. Man, this record, he's just, you know, going to town. Stanley Turrentine, Major Hawley, Bill English, and Ray Barretto. You know, doesn't really need to be talked about a lot. You know, this album is pretty famous. Love this cover too. It's just so simple. just with the little picture in here, it just everything fits perfect. It's just, I love this cover. So coming in, Kenny Burrell, Midnight Blue. Coming in at number 8, one I got at a record show pre-COVID, but got this for a smoking deal. Herbie Hancock, Taking Off. His first record on Blue Note. Actually, I think it might have been his first record, original mono press. I think this was the first Blue Note to contain all, new material, that he actually wrote. So, pretty cool there. Freddie Hubbard, Dexter Gordon, Herbie Hancock, Butch Warren, and Billy Higgins. He's got a couple records that I could have thrown on here. Maiden Voyage, great record. But I give this one the nod, so number 8, Herbie Hancock, Taking Off. Coming in at number 7, one I got from Glass House out in LA. Kenny Dorham, Matador. Terrific record. One that I never see pop up very much, so when I saw it, I had to snag it. Kenny Dorham, Jackie McLean, Bobby Timmons, who I just, anything he's on, I'm gonna buy. Teddy Smith and J.C. Moses. This is on the United Jazz original mono press. Just, man, they did some reissues of this with different cover, but I love this cover. Love the music on here. Just great stuff. So coming in at number 7, Kenny Dorham, The Matador, or just Matador, I should say. All right, almost to the top 5. Coming in at number 6, got this on. This was the eBay score, probably a couple years ago. That collection I bought, a lot of stuff from Minnesota. This was one I just got lucky on. It says Everybody Digs, Bill Evans. Original mono press, Riverside label. Bill Evans, Sam Jones, Philly Joe Jones. Come on, awesome. My favorite Bill Evans. New Jazz Conceptions I also enjoy a lot. All of the Bill Evans records are great, but I just really think this record is something special. Some of his, obviously Village Vanguard is, is great. I really enjoy this. So, Bill Evans, Everybody Digs, number 6. All right, coming in at number 5, top 5. This is another Tone Poet making the list. So, it doesn't matter, what kind of pressing it is. It's just about the music for me on this list, anyway. So coming at number 5, Chet Baker Sings. They just hit a home run with this. They replicated the World Pacific label there. Male vocal jazz, plus he's playing trumpet, obviously. Since day one, I've been a Chet Baker fan. That just mellow, laid-back, West Coast jazz vibe. He just has such a beautiful tone, and his voice, excuse me, his voice isn't anything like, Blossom Dearie or, it just works though, his voice on this, and I just, I really enjoy this record, and one, I'm in the mood for quite a bit. It seems like I played this, quite a few times since it was released, and number 5 on my list, so. Number 4, one of my favorite all-time jazz musicians, and this is my favorite record from him. It's Joe Henderson, Mode for Joe. Original mono press. Just an amazing record from Joe Henderson. Every time I listen to this, listen to the lineup here. We got Lee Morgan, Curtis Fuller, Joe Henderson, Bobby Hutcherson. He seems to be on a lot of these records. Cedar Walton, Ron Carter, and Joe Chambers. Just a blowing session. All these guys are just, awesome together. Look at that cover too. Number 4, Joe Henderson, Mode for Joe. Top 3. This record really needs no introduction. This is actually a really great pressing of this. Obviously originals of this go for quite a bit. This is Saxophone Colossus, Sonny Rollins. This is cut from Kevin Gray, 180 gram vinyl from the original master tapes. This is a great pressing if you can find it. Pressed at QRP. Just a great record. You know, his best, you know, maybe Way Out West would be up there, but just an awesome record. Great pressing, like I said. On the Prestige label, you got Tommy Flanagan, Doug Watkins, Max Roach. Just incredible. Don't really need to go into too much detail about it. Everyone knows about Saxophone Colossus, but coming in at number 3 on my list. Number 2, one that I was happy to get. Nice original stereo pressing, Oliver Nelson. Well, actually second pressing. The Blues and the Abstract Truth. Second pressing because it has this different cover with the head on it. You know, the original one was just words all across it. On the Impulse label. Love that cover. Oliver Nelson, you know, not known for his smaller arrangements like this, which made this record so freaking awesome. I mean, look at that lineup right there. Paul Chambers, Eric Dolphy, Bill Evans, Roy Haynes, Freddie Hubbard. I mean, dare I say the greatest sextet ever assembled? I mean, it's gotta be. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, love that Impulse label. Stolen Moments on here is worth the price of admission. The first track on the album, I mean, it really needs no introduction. I think it's one of the greatest jazz tracks of all time. This is a record that I just play often, and it's just easily, you know, it could be number 1 for me, but number 1 has such a sentimental thing for me that I don't know if anything will ever top that. So this is probably going to stay in my top 3 forever, I would have to say. And yeah, number 2 on my, you know, favorite jazz record that I own. So. All right, and the number 1 record, my favorite jazz record that I own. So I was driving to work one night, and you know, I had collected vinyl for a while already, but not jazz vinyl. And this song, I was just kind of in the mood, so I found a college radio station out here, North Texas, also known for their jazz. And I put on the jazz radio, and this track came on from this album, and I'm like, man, this is awesome. This isn't like jazz that I've heard, you know. So I got to work and I looked up their station on the internet, and sure enough, you know, it had the album that it was off of, and I immediately went to eBay and I found this for just a smoking deal. This is Horace Silver. Actually, the Horace Silver Quintet. This is 6 pieces of silver. So, I mean, that night just launched into what you see today. This, you know, this obsession with jazz, I guess you could say now. And I credit it all to this album. I still listen to this at least once a month. I would probably listen to it more, but I just have so much stuff coming in all the time that I feel like I have to listen to that. But I mean, I could easily listen to this once a week, you know, or even every couple days. It's just a tremendous album for me personally, and just a great jazz record in general. So this is an original mono press on the Lexington Avenue. This cover was actually in the shrink, but it was kind of half peeling off. So just a great record. This is from 1950, late 50s, I think, 56, 57. I can't remember, but yeah, like I said, great album. Donald Byrd, Hank Mobley, Horace Silver, Doug Watkins, and Louis Hayes. So like I said, this is going to be a hard one to ever trump, you know, any of the other, or this would be a hard one to trump by any other record. So yeah, awesome record. Number 1 in my favorite jazz records that I own. So that's the list, guys. It's not the perfect list. It's not going to be your list, but it is my list. So that is the 25 favorite jazz records that I own in my collection at this time. You know, that might change next month, next week, next year. But as of right now, those are the 25. So let me know what you think. As always, thanks for watching. And yeah, take care, guys. A lot of those you can still find pretty reasonably priced. Yeah, I suggest you check them all out. They're on my list for a reason. And yeah, hopefully you guys like it. And take care.